Good afternoon and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host, Blind Prime. And yes, it's a Blindformers episode. How exciting! Haven't had one of these in a while, and I'm very happy to be able to bring you the Studio Series concept art Bumblebee movie Sunstreaker and all of his glory, but I have some sad news to tell you about this transformation. If you want to know the full in-depth review of this transformation, please stay tuned to the end of the video where I will give it a final grading of 1 through 10 on what I think about this transformation and how good or bad I believe this transformation is. So please look into that, and I'll be reviewing the transformation as I go with verbal instructions. That way, if you're a visually impaired or blind person who can't read the stupid instruction manual, no worries, my channel is here to help you. That is what I'm about here at Blind_Prime and Blindformers specifically. I'm teaching you verbally how to transform these bad boys because a lot of these are really fun, but they can be annoying to figure out. So I'm here to help in case you get stuck. Now, before we get into today's video, there was something I forgot to mention in yesterday's video about the robot mode, and that's that you can put both of his guns on his back. But there's a problem with putting both of his guns on the back, and this is a missed opportunity, I think, in the design and concept part of this. This is a concept art, and they could have arted a little bit better, in my opinion. He's got these 4 guns, which do make for an amazing silhouette, I believe. You can stick them on his back, and he's got these 4 barrels sticking up, but there's a problem. You can pick up his backpack and act as if it's like some sort of shooting thing where you can fire at everything ahead of him. But the problem is that there are 4 barrels. 2 of the barrels touch the back of his head. Now, if they had actually removed the 2 middle barrels and made each barrel in the ends longer, then when you picked it up like that, it would have been like something out of a gun cannon, where these 2 long barrels would just, lock down on either side of his head and then proceed to fire. I think that would have been cool, and that would have been something really nice. But instead, we got the 4 barrels, which means you can't do that without, risking him blowing his own head off. So let's go ahead and remove those the guns from his backpack, and let's start into the transformation. Now, this transformation is a tricky one in some places, so let's go ahead and get it all started off. First off, what you want to do is come down here to the legs. You want to go ahead and peel back this armor on his knee, and then for the right leg, you're going to rotate it. Let's see, that's counterclockwise. Yeah, that's counterclockwise. You want to rotate it counterclockwise, okay? Now, then after you rotate it, fold the foot up into, so that the toe touches the knee. On the other side, rotate this one clockwise, and then fold the foot up so that it touches the knee. Okay, once those pieces are done, once those steps are complete, go ahead and rotate both of the thighs 45 degrees so that the tire that's on the back of his leg is now facing outside of the vehicle. Don't rotate them the other way, because then the tires will be touching, and that's not good. That's not going to help you with the transformation. All right, so don't do that. That's a bad move. Let's make sure we got this rotated correctly. It was a little stiff right there. Why are you a little stiff right there? Loosen up. Loosen up. Wait, what is going on over there? Why are you so stiff? Let's see what's happening here. Okay, that one folded in nicely, and now you fold in nicely. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Now, for this part, let's go ahead and make sure those toes are folded in. Now, this is neat, okay? This connection part right here that we're about to talk about is a very cool connection. We're going to rotate these little panels out of the way slightly to get a better look. The cleated feet that he has, their cleats are actually done offset from each other so that whenever you put these toes together, all the cleats fold into each other and make for a connection. Isn't that cool? I like that. I think that's really neat. And you get the front bumper from the back of the heels. I think that's a really cool little bit of transformation right there. Now let's go ahead and fold these knee pads forward, because each one is going to snap into place on either side of the front of this vehicle mode, making the front of the wheel well for the front wheel. Okay? No, it's the front. That's what we're doing here. Okay, make sure that's snapped into place. I do like how sturdy these snaps are for the front of this vehicle. All of that is excellent. Now come over here to his core area, and we're going to go ahead and pull out his core by grabbing his chest piece and pulling it up. Let's go ahead and shove all that in there again and give you another example. So come over here to where it's pegged in. It's got a tiny little rectangular hole, and there's a tiny little rectangular peg. So it's supposed to be pegged in for robot mode. And we're going to come and unpeg that. It's a soft peg, so don't worry about giving it too much pressure. Then pull everything up, all right? And once you pulled it up, go ahead and pull out or unsnap from the interior these two little window sections that unfold on either side, and then this entire bit will collapse down and just rest, okay? It doesn't have an ability to really snap into place, and that is a missed opportunity in my opinion, and this will be taking some points off. All right, we are going to take points off of this thing. We're not going to be kind because, you know, we're being objective here. Now, fold his head in, and this is a part of the transformation I dislike, in addition to the fact that this, you know, his windshield, his top of his car mode doesn't seem to peg in. His head has to fold in there and get clipped in heavily. Like once you get this head in there, you can't get the head out really without trying to break it. You have to actually go in on the underside of the vehicle and find a little rectangular hole on either side of what feels like siege ports. And once you find that rectangular hole, take something like Optimus Prime's axe, animated Optimus Prime's axe, and you can stick that axe, the axe handle, through that hole and pop his head up. That is the only way I've found to get that head up. Try it any other way with your fingernails, you're going to break a fingernail, okay? Trust me on that. You're going to break a fingernail, and his head doesn't want to pop. Oh, my God. Okay, come on. Stupid connections there. Like, you don't... There it goes. Okay. Can we actually get enough leverage? There it goes. All right, so the part that upsets me about this head, we'll talk about in a bit of the transformation. But I wanted you to understand that that head is difficult to get out once you put it in there. So you've got to use a tool. Don't use your fingernails. Please don't use your fingernails. They will break off like with terrible Legos. Like, you know, the Legos that are just stuck on there for years. Use a tool. Now, come over here to his arms. Excuse me. Now, come over here to his arms and unfold these bits that are on his forearm. But before you unfold them completely, make sure that you fold up, because this bit on his forearm is two pieces folded together, like a little sandwich. And you want to unfold the top piece. Make it into a taco, okay? And then fold that taco over his hand, all right? So that his hand is hidden underneath these bits. And now, if you feel in the end of this, you'll find that there's these little grooves cut into it. Small little grooves cut into it. And that's going to be important in a minute, okay? Now I'll explain why there's these little grooves cut into the very end of that whenever we get to the connection points. So let's rotate these down. Make sure you rotate the arms completely so that this little circle bit on the elbow finishes the rear wheel well. We want to make sure that rear wheel well is complete. Come over here to his shoulder pauldrons and fold each of them up and out. They are a little sticky, a little difficult to get out of there. But once you get them out, pardon me, and once you get them out and fold them up, and there they go. And they are complete. There we are. And here we go. You get the idea. You want to connect these things together, but not right now, okay? Trust me, it's going to be easier on your life if you don't worry about connecting the shoulder pauldrons together or putting this backpack piece and clipping that down yet. Don't do anything with that. We're coming over here to the arms because the arms need a little TLC, okay? The arms are definitely the worst part of this transformation. They need TLC in order to work. So this stupid canopy for the vehicle mode never wants to stay in place, and these arms are the same. Feel where that groove is I told you about. Now feel in the inside of this, the front wheel well where it faces. You'll find that there's a small little peg sticking up, and that peg doesn't have any like little, it's not like an I shape, so, you know, or a T peg, I guess. It doesn't come up and then have two little short lines on either side that are made for you to slide things into. No, it just comes up and acts as if it's a peg you're supposed to plug something into. But you're not. You're supposed to slide those grooves from the inside of that wheel over that little peg. And that part is a chore. That part is a chore. So you line it up. You line it up and you set it. You line it up and you set it in. You line it up and you set it. You line it up and you pull the stupid canopy up. Now you line it. And you line it. Now you squeeze the hands down just a bit more. Maybe we just need to puttify it a bit. Okay, so we lined them up. We lined them up, and something broke. Ah, nuts. Okay, so line it up, and there. We got it. We got them both lined up perfectly well. The rear's actually also connected. Oh, that's beautiful. And they popped out of sight. Ah, nuts. Come on. Come on now. You too good for your home? too good for its home. It is too good for its home. Let's put the canopy down. Maybe if we put the canopy down and we raise these little pieces up, then we can actually slide these in. And that should get it. That should get it, but it doesn't because just because. That's all I got. That's the only reasoning I have on why this isn't working. It's not working because of corporate greed. I don't know. I don't know at all. But so come over and go ahead and finish this transformation up by folding that backpack piece on top of the canopy for the car, and you're going to get something that looks really cool if it worked right. Like that piece. My arm is not wanting. Okay, so that one went in. Now this one, come on, come on. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. That is as good as I'm going to get it. Let's go ahead and knock something over and then put these guns up here on top. You can set them up into their little sockets. So now that we've got them transformed, let's add the guns. Great. So if you feel this where the siege ports were, you know, you'll find that there's these two little rectangular tabs that stick up, and on either side there's little holes. And we're just going to line this guy up with those little holes and stick him in. Okay? We're going to stick both of those bits in. There they go. They're in now. And I pop the arms out, getting those pieces in. Ah, nuts. All right. And then I pop the canopy up, getting the arms back in. Okay. So there it is. That is done. That is the transformation. The pauldron popped out back here. There it goes. So put it back. Of course, that arm may have popped out because I put the pauldron back. Yeah, it did. And we're going to slide that arm up and around. So my final grade on this transformation is a lot of fun. But this transformation's missing some, you know, it screws up on three parts. Part number one, that head cannot enter or leave the body without utilizing a tool. That is, you know, you can push it in there, but that ratchet is just too strong for the head. You're going to break that head eventually by transforming it back and forth. That ratchet needed to be smooth. The head folding out needs to be a smooth process where once it's folded out completely, it has a little tab on it that locks it into place. Don't make the hinge itself a locking hinge because you need the head to be smooth. That head is on a ball joint usually, and it's not as sturdy as everything else. Using that tool to poke at the head and push it up by the head means that I'm putting a lot of strain on the connection between the head and that piece, and I'm worried eventually it's going to break. That's one negative. Negative number two, they put a lot of clear plastic on this stupid canopy again. I don't know why they keep working with clear plastic. They need to work with the blue plastic, so we get the nice little, you know, sky blue windows or something like that. Those are cool windows. I like those windows. But that's not even complaint number two. Complaint number two is the fact that this front canopy has nothing to peg into. You know, it just rests there on the hopes and dreams that the arms will stay in their positions, okay? And that's not cool. That's no bueno, never good, not good, not good at all, all right? Makes me dislike this transformation because of these arms. The arms needed to have a sturdier connection port, and don't you tell me you can't come up with something that's a sturdy connection point, because I've come across enough Transformers on this channel that have found unique and interesting ways to make sure that the arms don't flop out, that you, the engineers, can come up with a reason. You can come up with something other than this stupid slide the edge of the peg into these tiny little grooved holes. That would have been cool if you had actually put like the top of a T section, a little lip on either side of that peg, so that when you slide these arms into it, they don't slide back out. They actually locked into place. You didn't give us any ability for these stupid arms to lock into place. So the slightest movement, the slightest anything, causes these arms to pop out of place. And then you try to get them back into place, and then you pop the pauldron out of place. So you try to pop the pauldron in back into place. You pop the arm out of place. So you pop the arm back into place. You've popped the canopy out of place because the canopy isn't held down with any sort of pegs. What the hell? Why didn't you do the... You've managed so many times to give us good canopies that are sturdy, they lock into place. And then when it comes to a Bayverse product, you just go belly up, ass over tea kettle here whenever you designed it. It just doesn't make any damn sense to me. And I dislike it whenever something is this good And then one simple thing. These stupid arms and the canopy, actually 3 simple things. Arms, canopy, head. Ruin it for me. That's why I'm giving this transformation a 6 out of 10. Okay? It could have been so much better. The front part, absolutely love. I love how the pauldrons connect in the back. I like how the canopy folds out. I like how the backpack folds around to clip into the canopy. I like those aspects about it. Those are really cool. I especially love the way that the feet combine together. I hope we see that transformation part more often in Transformers. That was unique and interesting, and I absolutely loved it. But it's ruined by these arms. Look, the arms are already stuck back out. You saw me put them in place, if you could see. You heard me put them in place if you could hear. So, that's why this isn't going to be a top 10 Transformer of this year. It's going to come down to the transformation not being good. And the transformation not having the ability for these things to peg in. I've seen terrible transformations where the vehicle mode is decent because at least in the transformation everything pegged in. You know, you just phoned this one in, Hasbro engineers. So I'm sorry. Look, I love you all. I think you do great work. And because I put you on such a high pedestal of engineering standards, I can't overlook something like this. I can't overlook this trash. So this gets 2 thumbs down from me. I'm sorry. I love the whole idea of this. I enjoy Sunstreaker. He's one of my more favorite characters of the Transformers. I just don't like what they did to this Sunstreaker. I don't like it at all, and I wish they had done something different. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. And leave me a comment below. Talk to me about what you think of concept art Sunstreaker. Do you also agree with me that this transformation could have been a lot better if they hadn't phoned it in at the last minute? Let me know. And also, do you despise the live-action movies as much as I despise the live-action movies? Let's have a conversation in the comments. Until next Prime, bye-bye for now.